And later on this morning in Lower Manhattan, jurors returned to court for a second day of deliberations in the hush money trial of former President Trump. The judge plans to address 4 requests from the jury that came in late yesterday afternoon, including to rehear his instructions. Eyewitness News reporter Josh Einiger live outside court in Lower Manhattan. But Josh, for the past several days, you've actually spent time inside court, so you have a unique perspective on these jurors. We have not seen the jury. You have. What do you make of day 1 of deliberations as we enter day 2 today?
So first I want to just set the scene for you. Good morning, by the way, from rainy Lower Manhattan. I want to set the scene for what happens inside that stuffy courtroom. There's this bell. It's like an old school analog doorbell that probably dates to the 1940s or 50s. That is the only way the jury can communicate with the outside world when they're in the jury room. And so they want to do something or say something. They ring the bell. Everything in the courtroom, everyone sort of jumps, and then suddenly things kick into action. And that is when the defendant, in this case Donald Trump, his legal team, his entourage, all filed into the courtroom. In came the prosecutors, in came the judge, and then they read the first note. The first note was a readback of 4 different parts of testimony, much of it having to do with this guy, David Pecker. Now, Pecker is the publisher of the National Enquirer, who's at the center of the catch and kill scheme, where they would go out and find material that was negative toward Donald Trump. They would buy that story and then sit on it. Prosecutors say that became illegal when it was done to influence the presidential election, which is a violation of federal election laws, and that is really the center of this case. So that's what they want to hear. The bell rang twice in rapid succession yesterday afternoon. The second time, as you said, Mike, they were asking for the judge to repeat the hour or so of instructions he had read to them earlier in the day. So because it was toward the end of the day, as it was, the judge excused the jury slightly early. They'll be back this morning at 9:30. We will hear those readbacks of testimony. We'll hear the readback of the instructions, and then they'll go back into their jury room and continue their deliberations. The question, will they reach a verdict? What do these readbacks mean? Reading the tea leaves is a very dangerous thing to do in a situation like this, and so we will just sort of have to wait and see. Court does resume at 9:30 when they will begin the process of reading all that material back. It could take as long as about an hour and a half before they then return to the jury room. That's the very latest live from criminal court in Lower Manhattan this morning. Josh Einiger, Channel 7 Eyewitness News. Mike Charlene.
Such an interesting perspective being on the inside, Josh. Thank you. Look for more of your reports throughout the day. And in fact, stay with Eyewitness News and ABC News as we follow these jury deliberations in former President Trump's hush money trial. As we learn new developments, we'll bring them to you right here on the air and always on the go at ABC 7 NY.
New this morning.